my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
welcome back, everybody. JR, what's going on with you? What's going on? What's the temperature? What's the weather like where you are?
Man, we've had our first storms of April today, so it's been quite a wet and long day. But that's only in some parts of London. Rest of it was perfectly fine. A little bit chilly, but the sun was out.
So
how about you?
So when you say chilly, does that mean like 40s or below, or does that mean what? What does that mean for a Londoner?
We don't even put a temperature on it. Chilly means cold.
Okay.
Cold for the time of year.
Cold for this time of year. Okay. Well, yeah, here we had 73-degree temperature yesterday, so it was beautiful. Of course, today on my day off, it decides that it wants to go down to like I don't know, 40-something degrees. So definitely chilly, rainy, just kind of a blah spring day. Nothing like yesterday when the sun was out and it was 73 degrees and people were wearing shorts and stuff like that. So nothing like that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crazy. You have to make the most of it when it's warm.
Yeah, you do. Hopefully, but yeah, when it's warm, and hopefully it's your day off.
Yeah, true. We have a long weekend over here this week.
Oh, so, okay. What's the holiday coming up? Hey, Elsie.
Easter holidays.
Oh, well, yeah, Easter, of course, yeah. So wait a minute. Okay, so you guys, what are you off? Like you have Good Friday off, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Good Friday. Then we have the weekend. Then we also have Bank Holiday Monday.
Oh wow! So like a 4-day weekend, basically.
Correct.
That's nice. Over here in the States, I work for companies that, especially municipalities, that you have Good Friday off. Colleges, some of them don't have Good Friday off, and then because Easter is on a Sunday, most of everything goes back to normal, I think, on Monday, the Monday following.
Okay. Yeah, like the UK has like maybe 4 bank holidays a year. Bank holiday is basically a day off or a shortened week.
Okay.
So we have that every year. The Easter one, obviously, you have Good Friday, Easter Sunday on the Sunday, and then the day after that you have a bank holiday Monday, which is an extra day off. So
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Sid, I'm just curious, how many bank holidays, or I guess we call them like official holidays, that are celebrated down there where you are? And Monique, jump in and let us know.
Yeah, and also schools.
I feel like we don't have enough.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people say that we have too many, but we don't. Schools are off for 2 weeks at this time as well.
Oh, okay. So they're having their spring break now there.
Yeah, kind of like a spring break, 2 weeks off.
Okay, because so my daughter got married last month, and when we got on the plane, my son and I got on the plane to go to Washington, D.C., I was like, why are all these people in the airport? I'm so glad I told my son we have to leave early for the airport, because he was like, oh, we'll just get there at such and such a time. I was like, no, we need to get there about an hour earlier. And sure enough, I wasn't even thinking about it because my kids are out of school. So, I don't think about it. It was spring break here. And that was why everybody was on their way to somebody's island, or, down to Florida or wherever they were headed. So, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. See, not many people, I mean, it's a tough one. Over here, the prices to go away on vacation or anything at this time, when it's like a school holiday, the prices are exponentially more expensive than if you go off peak.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I see that. Yep.
So we have a lot of parents that pull their children out of school so that they could take them on holidays because it's cheaper during school time. And then obviously that's not good because you have people saying, well, your kid's education is going to suffer. But the parents are usually like, listen, I'd rather take them out for a day or two now or a week or two now instead of paying the extortionate holiday fees when it's term time. So, yeah, we have half term holidays and we have obviously the end of term holidays too.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, kids here get a lot of time off.
Yeah, that's what everybody says about kids here. So yeah, I guess so. I think when my kids were out, it did seem like they got a lot of time off, but they also had a lot of time in school too. So I'm not going to complain. But okay, so what did you guys think about this episode 2? And guys, let me just say and explain, apologize and explain. So we didn't make it on Sunday afternoon, even though we were scheduled to go on about 4 p.m., which was 9 p.m. UK time, right? Right, JR?
Yeah.
We were unable to get online because a couple of hours before we were scheduled to come online, Xfinity decides that they're doing some kind of testing and they're doing some kind of repairs. And so, long story short, I didn't have any kind of internet to get on anybody's Beyonce's or Mr. President's internet. I had nothing, just nothing, absolutely nothing. So we couldn't get on, and I apologize for that. So we're doing it again on Tuesday, but we hope to be back next Sunday, right, JR?
Correct.
For episode 3, because this is starting to pick up a little bit. Like, what did you think about, we kind of open up, let me just say, so we kind of opened up with the couple, what is it, Charlie and Jared,
Yeah.
the young lady that I thought was Caucasian, but we're going to get to that in a little bit. We'll get to that. But anyway, but they're basically having a conversation that she has had a child in the 4.5 years they've been talking and dating supposedly online. She's had a child with a stranger, a one night stand, and not to mention the fact that she also has 2 extra kids. What did you make of that?
Obviously that's going to be a bombshell for anybody, you've only told him about the 12-year-old, the first one, and then you've got 3 more that you've been hiding for the entire 4 years you've been talking. So that's pretty big. And then, as you said, the most recent one, she's not even with that person. It's probably a one night stand. She thought that Jared was up to something. She decided her woman's intuition at the time was telling her she needs to go get back if he is doing something. And she came back with a child on the way back. So, yeah, that's a big secret. And then obviously, Jared, hearing that, decides it's the right time to reveal his secret, which is he has a 6-month-old child. So we don't know the circumstances, but we can probably assume that was probably a one-night stand of some kind as well, because he's on the show. He's not in a relationship.
Right. I don't want to sound prudish, but I just am not understanding how people are having people their age are having sexual relations and not using any protection, especially when it's with these strangers or the one night stand or, the person that basically doesn't mean anything to you. I just, do you get it? Is it just me? Because I'm over 50. Is it just me?
No, I don't get it because obviously it's it's going to add complexities to your relationship, your online person's relationship. Now, it's not just the fact that you've gone out and done it, but you now have a child from it. So safety and precautions are not at the forefront of these people's minds. And so they're not even invested in each other to be thinking about protecting each other from the hurt from finding out, or from, knowing that you've now got a child with someone that the person you've supposedly been with. So it's very crazy to me. Very crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just, I'm gobsmacked. That's my favorite word right now. Gobsmacked.
Yeah. So obviously Jared now, after revealing his secret,
Right.
because he has one child prior.
Mm-hmm.
So in total, now they have 6 children. So now he's talking about, well, that's a lot. 6 kids is a lot, and it is. Just having 1 or 2 in this day and age is a lot, but 6, you just
Yeah.
6 times the financial strain on whatever
Yeah.
relationship you thought you was gonna have.
6 kids to have higher learning, higher education. You got to send them off to uni, or you got to send them somewhere because they can't stay here. You got to do something with these kids. Oh my goodness. And then my question is to this couple, we'll find out probably a little bit later on, are they planning on having any kids together?
Good point. Good point. Because they already have a litter, right?
They already got a litter of 6. So, and he
They,
called it the Brady Bunch, the Brady
well,
Bunch. Okay.
they already got a starting 5 and a 6th man. So
And the other question I have too, and hopefully we'll find this out as the season unveils all these some answers. What do these people do for a living?
to be able
What,
to afford 6 kids now.
what does Jared do that he can afford? Is he an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, Indian chief? What does she do?
I have no idea. I don't even think they've gone into that too much on the show, like giving us an idea of what they do for a living.
No, they haven't. They haven't really explained any of that to us. I mean, I think there were a couple people there that said they were. Wasn't there a lady there that's the content creator or something? Oh no, wait a minute. I'm getting my shows mixed up. Why did I watch Pop the Balloon? I watched Pop the Balloon finally, and there were 2 people on the show that were content creators. So never mind. Scratch that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't
okay.
watch Pop the Balloon. No.
You don't watch Pop the Balloon on Netflix now.
Nothing positive coming from that in terms of relationship. Sorry.
Yeah, so we've got what's her name? Is it Alicia? Alicia and Erwin in the next scene. They're doing a little cuddling in the girls' bedroom. And she's just kind of like, I don't know what it is about her, but it seems like she has some issues with intimacy with him. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you said they were cuddling. Um,
Well, he wanted to cuddle. I should have said that. You're
right.
right.
That's different. That's different. He wants to be amorous, affection, probably take in, they're now in each other's presence. So let's see how we connect physically. That's what he's kind of gearing towards. But she's not ready. Not only is she not ready, I don't think she's as attracted to him in person as she possibly was online. And I think that's down to what she's obviously going through with the medical situation that she has. Also, I think she's a bit socially awkward or has anxiety about
Yes.
physical contact.
Yes.
Now, I will give her grace in a sense because technically, even though you've had an online relationship, physically you don't know each other. So you have to kind of get to know the person physically now and get comfortable with them and feel vulnerable with them and feel like, you're amorous towards them and stuff. And she's not there. I don't think she'll get there anywhere near close to the time when Irving will. And because Irving's already there, he's already expressing how close he wants to get with her, suggested doing yoga, suggested doing other things to try and bond. But now she's pushing him away every single time.
I think it's interesting. Miss Wilson said, basically indicated that she doesn't think that Alicia is into Irwin, and that's something you and I talked about. You seem to think that too, that she's not into him.
No, not at all.
And what about the possible? Maybe she just has body anxiety, a body dysmorphia. Because I think she looks perfectly fine. I think all the ladies are attractive on the show this season.
Yeah, but the problem is we may think she's attractive, but if she has dysmorphia, it's how she feels about herself.
Right.
So yeah, so regardless of how many people tell her she's cute, she's pretty, oh, you look good, it's how she feels within. That's the most important thing. That's what the dysmorphia is. She has a, but yes, it's quite possible. I think she did say she's lost a lot of weight recently,
Yeah, she did.
right? So there is a psychological component to that as well, because you're so used to being a certain size. Now your shape has changed, or you've lost weight. There's a psychological side of it where you now have to get used to what you see in the mirror, this new slimmer version of yourself. Um, so yeah, it's quite possible.
Miss Wilson, you jumping ahead. She seems to be okay with Brandon, though.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Yeah.
Good. We need to get there. We
We
need
need to
to.
get there quick, huh?
Mhm.
Okay, so let me see. What's our next this is them again. They're still, you know, I think she's saying, let me go back over here to comments because I can't read what this says. I wanted to be, she's saying to him, I wanted to be more about our minds and our hearts connecting. And he's smiling, she's smiling. So I don't know, we'll
No,
see.
I'm
We'll
not
see
buying
what
it.
happens.
Not
Huh?
buying it.
You're
Not
not
buying
buying
it.
it?
No. I'll tell you why I'm not buying it, because that's what the online dating was for. The online dating, there's no physical component whatsoever. There's no,
Yes,
right? So
exactly.
all you are doing is communicate and
Yep.
sharing how you feel about things, and then what do you have in common and what don't you like, and getting
Hmm.
to know each other that way. So that's what you should have been doing the entire time you've known each other prior to meeting.
Yeah, yeah, that's a
Seeing
good
if you
point.
connect.
That was
Mhm.
what I think this couple. I think this is the couple that's got about 5 months in. They're about so they had time to talk about, like you said, just about everything to find out what their common interests were, things where they maybe have different viewpoints, all of that, and
Mhm.
explore all of that. Because now, hey, in person, it's time to see if we've got chemistry and if we really like each other, how you behave with other people around, how you behave privately, all of those things we're checking into, right?
Exactly. And that's what's brought them to this point now where they're able to meet physically. They've already been bonding for a certain amount of time, having conversations, calling each other, messaging each other, talking
Hmm.
about their mindsets and their goals and their aspirations and all the other stuff that you do on the phone when you're talking to your partner. Right. So they've done
Right.
that. I think she just wants to take it at a slower pace,
Hmm.
much, much slower. And again, I feel like that's because she's not as attracted to him in person as she was to him online.
Just one other thing too. There's something that sometimes happens on online dating. Is why we got a whole show called Catfish. And even when people aren't necessarily catfishing each other about how they look, they're actually sharing real recent pictures, right? That aren't modified or edited or whatever. I think there are people who, like you say, that maybe they have an issue with intimacy in person, like touching and hugging and kissing, but they can talk about, maybe even intimate things over the phone. Because I'm guessing if these two young people were talking for 5 months, I would be willing to bet money that they were talking also about some sexual things and what they were going to do to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's if their connection is like that. But um,
You think he would have stuck around for 5 months if it wasn't? I don't know too many straight guys, heterosexual guys, red blooded guys that are going to stick around for 5 months on a whim that we're gonna get together and there's gonna be some romantic, hot and heavy time, right?
yeah, but the thing is, it's a risk, and if you like the person enough, then you take the risk and hold out, and then hopefully, yeah, like I guess, I mean, because I've experienced it, like what
Yeah,
you're hoping for is when you do meet physically that there's fireworks straight away and you can't keep your hands off each other and you want to be amorous and affectionate.
right.
Because let's be real, when you're talking on the phone, it's just a device, it's an object.
Hmm.
So, you can put it down, you can hang up on the person. There's no facial expressions, no mannerisms, there's no nothing tangible to hug and hold.
Well, no, nothing to hug. But wait a minute, let's back up. Now we're into the 2025s, and even I know this. So these kids, these kids, these young people, this couple, they're probably FaceTiming each other, right?
Right?
you know, so you can actually see some expression. You can actually get a sense if somebody's rolling their eyes or, you know, whatever. But you're right though. You can play the actor in the whole FaceTime, right?
Yeah, but again, you're not in person. So even if you do see them on FaceTime, again, you're looking through a screen.
Yeah,
So when
true.
you're around them physically and you can see, if you look at the screenshot that we have up right now,
Yeah.
look at how he's looking at her. Like
Hmm.
he is enamored by her, right?
Well, you know, I'm going to take a little card from Married at First Sight, but my mama used to say this, so actually, this is from my mother. He's looking at her like he can eat her up.
Right. But she don't want to be eaten up. Not by Irvin anyway.
Maybe by Brandon.
Doing some yoga.
When we get to that part. So okay, so we move over to LaRonda calls everyone out outside the house. Let's get on outside the house and let's get into our first actual intimacy exercise, right? So she
Mm.
warns everybody, the men and the women, that you have to put on a swimsuit. The men have to put on their swim trunks, and basically there's a lot of skin exposed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought
Mm-hmm.
I thought everybody looked really good. I thought, was it Jared? I think he looks really good.
Right.
Uh,
I,
I
I mean,
mhm,
the thing is, this is an intimacy challenge. So if you're struggling with intimacy, this
yes.
is the type of task that is here to help you now kind of form that connection with your partner. This is the perfect task, right? Any intimacy challenge. Because like I said, you've had the conversations already. So it's now time to see if you physically have a connection as well. So
Mhm.
Alicia straight away is going to find this type of challenge awkward because she doesn't really want to be touched by Brandon. She doesn't really want to open up yet. But you're right. Um, Everybody looked um, fairly comfortable enough in their trunks, and
Yeah,
no one, yeah,
yeah.
like no one was really ashamed or shy or anything. So even though Irvin isn't really packing the same kind of muscular physique like Jared is.
Okay, yeah, yeah, we can see that in this picture right here. You're right. He's a little he's got a little the winter layer on him, I'll say.
Yeah,
You know. So and that's okay. I found all the men, like I said, attract. Look at Chris there in the back. That's Chris back there, I think, right? In the
yeah,
very back behind
yeah, with
the
the brown
last
shorts.
column with the brown shorts on.
Yep,
You've got what is it? This is Jay, I think, with the hair up in the bun, big bun. You've
yep,
got Alexis out front here, and you've got Jared out front, right?
mm-hmm, yep,
Yeah. So they're about to have a very interesting time uh, with what's about to occur. I think I like this that the okay, let's get to the expert. So this expert, uh Miss D Michelle, is it? Let's see. Hold on. Uh Intimacy coach Joy D Michelle tells everyone that listen, we got the body paint all set up on the mats and everything, and here's what I want you to do. I want you to ask for consent.
mm-hmm. Very
And
important.
very important. And like
Mm-hmm,
ask before you make a move. Like say, for example, I would like to paint your back. I would like to paint your chest.
mm-hmm,
I would like to paint around your nipple. you know, I would like to reach up under your shorts and try to find some treasure under.
yep. None of that happened though. There was no asking about anything like that.
There was no asking about anything like that. Yeah, because
No,
some people did. Now hold on, some people did. You got okay. You got this couple here.
not the person who put their hand up the shorts. They didn't ask for no permission.
Yeah, correct. But okay, let's go. Let's start with this couple. You got
Mm-hmm.
Brandon and you got Kiki.
Yep.
All right. How do you think Brandon and Kiki did?
Uh, they did okay. He said he felt vulnerable and
Mm-hmm.
submissive.
Mm-hmm.
Submissive. He enjoyed being submissive.
He did.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I don't know. I I wouldn't like this couple,
Okay.
but
What's not to like? She's a big, beautiful woman, and he's a guy that likes a BBW.
it's not that. I'm sure we're going to touch on it later, but it's his comments about her drinking and how critical he is of that.
Okay.
And it seems like it turns him all the way off.
Mm.
Um,
But in
but
this moment, in this scene,
mm,
he seemed to actually enjoy being submissive to her.
yes,
Would you agree?
yes, he did.
Okay. Yeah, I think he did. I think he enjoyed
He
it.
did. He said it. He vocalized it.
Yes.
He said he enjoyed being submissive.
Yes. Um, okay, so he did enjoy being submissive. We've got
I think he enjoyed seeing the
mhm,
Daisy Dukes.
her Daisy Dukes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. And so she had, yes, you're right. She did have the Daisy Dukes on. This couple here, what is that? Is that Clay and Tatiana?
Yep. Clavassier.
Cavassier and
Tatiana.
Tatiana. They seem to now. The first clue we have right here is they're sitting. He's already got his arms around her on her leg. She's pressed into him with her shoulder all into his chest.
Hmm.
They seem to be very comfortable.
Hmm. Yes, they do at the moment. Yes. Uh,
Mm,
yeah. They don't have a problem with the way they've connected in person. You can tell she feels quite relaxed around him, and he's very happy with everything at the moment too. So they look like they're on a good path at this particular moment.
yeah, yeah. They seem to be vibing. I mean, I'm feeling them. I'm feeling them. I think they seem to be vibing, but stormy waters may be ahead.
Hmm. Definitely.
Stormy waters may be ahead. I'm telling you.
Hmm.
So let's see here. We got this couple right here. We've got back to Alicia and Irvin again.
Yeah, she looks very pleased with the intimacy task.
You being facetious. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I don't think she's feeling him.
Nah.
I don't think she's really feeling him. She doesn't give that smile. She doesn't lean into him like she's feeling him like that. I don't know what it is about him, but I don't know. Uh, and then uh, let's see. Well, let's talk a little bit about um, let's talk about this couple. So you got Chris and you've got Lexi, right?
Hmm.
Lexi in this exercise decided not to ask Chris for his consent. And
Hmm.
he's saying to everybody, and I don't know if the women, the host of the show and the intimacy coach really listened when he said, but she didn't ask for my consent. They kind of blew him off. Did you notice that?
No, I thought they addressed it actually.
Okay, well, tell me how they addressed it.
Well, um, first of all, she did. Alexis didn't ask a single time for permission to do anything, and she actually violated him more than anybody else. Got violated, i.e., she went for the genitals and things like that without consent, without permission. And it's something that he kept pulling her up on. He kept saying, "You didn't ask. You know, you never asked." Now, after the task was over, Taronda said to her, "You seem like you're used to getting your own way."
Mm-hmm.
And she said, yeah. And then Toronto was like, well, you can't do that. You have to get consent.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do you think age plays any significant in this? Because I think she's about 12 years older than he. She's 47 and they have his age as 35.
Um, I don't know if it's age. It could be. I just think she has a domineering personality and feels like she can do whatever she wants to him because he
Hmm.
belongs to her in her mind. She can do whatever she wants to him, whether he likes it or not, whether he says he consents or not. She's gonna do what she wants to do.
Yeah, that her body paint basically showed off, featured the handprint on his rear end, two handprints, one on each cheek, and
Hmm.
then a handprint on his private area in the front.
Hmm.
So there's no mistaking what she's saying. Like, she's very territorial.
Yep.
Uh, I don't know. I disagree with you on the age thing, though. I do think it has to do with age. I think that people who like control oftentimes tend to date much younger, and that's whether it's a man dating a younger woman or if it's a woman dating a younger man. I really do believe that. That's just my take on it.
It could be, but regardless of the age gap, you must get the consent from the person. The whole task is to get consent. So she failed the task,
She did.
completely failed.
She did.
The objective is to ask for permission before you start to paint the area. She never did that once. So being as old as she is, she should know better than to do that.
And and to the next point, so she's telling him, we see a scene where she's talking to him and he kind of he reflects back. It's like a flashback, right? He
Hmm.
reflects back to when they were just online dating, and here I am, like, they're, like I said, they're doing either a Zoom or they're doing a FaceTime, and you have both of them up on the screen. And she's saying, well, I was in the car with my ex when we were still together, and he decided to turn his head to look at somebody's booty, and when he turned back around, my fist was there and I cracked him in his jaw.
Hmm. And she bragging about it.
And she's bragging about it. She's laughing. And Chris is
Yeah.
like, he's saying, well, wait a minute, don't do me like that. And she said, well, you shouldn't be wandering. You shouldn't be looking and you shouldn't be wandering.
Yeah. So that's the first warning right there. She prepared to get physical when she feels insecure or jealous. And
Oh,
let's face
yes.
it, Chris is not a bad looking brother.
No, not at all. He's
So,
definitely doable.
right. So what comes with that? Tall, handsome, gonna attract he's gonna attract women.
Hmm.
Um, and what's she
He's
gonna do every time he looks or he sees something or someone comes up to him or someone?
hmm
What's she gonna do? Resort to violence or something like that?
she
There's no.
she But go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no reason to put your hands on anybody. So I know she was saying
No.
it in jest, but
Hmm.
to me, she's also putting a warning out to say, listen, you can get it too if you do what he did.
Right. That's exactly what I got too. Cause, like, me having experienced domestic violence, when someone I'm talking to starts talking about how they hit their last partner and what they did and they're laughing about it, that's not funny at all to me. It's not
Nope.
funny at all.
And it wasn't funny to Chris.
Oh, good point. That was my ex. He was so darn handsome. Yeah, he will. He will attract not only women, but he'll attract other men too.
Yeah, but we're not talking about other men. We're
No,
talking about.
I know. I know. I'm just saying. I'm responding to what Monique King dropped in our comment. Yeah, yeah. I mean, she's probably more so worried about the women, but I don't know. I do think I feel like it's an age thing. It's not. You're right. It's like it's both. I feel like she's domineering. I do feel that, but I feel like she specifically wanted him because he's younger. Because imagine she's 47. Let's say if she was dating a 50-year-old. Do you think a 50-year-old would have even put up with her to this point? No, no. You know, you've
I
got
don't know.
at 50, you've got more life behind you than you have in front of you, and things start to change how you look at things. You know, you're not looking for somebody that is just not going to fit into your life, even if it's not for long term, even if it's short term. And her saying that, I think that kind of kicks her right out. Most guys would have thought of that as a red flag, but
Absolutely.
he still came to meet up with her though.
Yeah, because you still have it in the back of your mind that it's not going to happen to you, and but
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
yeah. The other thing is Chris says that I think I heard him on the previous show that he was on, Ready to Love, and he may have. I don't even know if he discussed it this time, but he did say that he wanted to have kids, and if she's well well into the later stages
Mm-hmm.
of her 40s, then that's going to be very difficult to achieve.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I
So
absolutely.
I don't know if they're actually compatible. He's already sounding the alarm to say she's doing things that are violating his boundaries. And the worst part is he told her about these control and boundaries that he
Yeah,
had,
yeah, he
and
did.
she still went ahead and did what she did.
She did it
So
anyway.
that's what, yeah. So he
N-
that's what's going to cause the problem. She doesn't listen to his feelings. It's only about what she wants to do and how she feels.
How she feels. This picture that's up on the screen, by the way, guys, is Miss Wilson has correctly put. That's Chris. You know, he's in the shorts. He's in the forefront of the picture, and the hands coming around. Those are Alexis or Lexi. So, see, here's the thing about, and just give you a quick little background. So, I call her Lexi because I know Lexi online, don't know her in person, but Lexi is the manager of a huge page on Facebook, a huge Facebook group that's Ready to Love, and any of the other shows that she feels like doing that are on OWN. So that's how I know Lexi. We call her Lexi. So even though her name is Alexis, so just for clarification, right?
Mhm.
Um, so moving forward, this couple, we
Hey,
find out this is the first time I have any inkling, and I have a biracial child. I have a biracial child. This is my first time having inkling, but I kept looking at her. There were some features about her, and I kept saying to myself, hmm. But we find out for a fact when her what is it, Jared tells us that he painted her black and white because she's my little zebra, as it says here on the screen. And also he calls her his black queen, and he talks about how when she was younger at school she had to fight people off because they thought that she was all white, and she's actually biracial.
mhm. She just got more of the white genome, the white genetics.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But when she turns around, I'm looking at her, I'm going, she got some black on the back on that wagon. I'm sorry.
Mhm. And
I'm sorry.
after four kids, sometimes it happens like that.
Oh, okay. Is that what it is? All right. Okay.
Mhm.
Uh, Miss Wilson, she says Chris is trying to slip out the back door. um, yeah, but were you surprised? Was I the only one? Anybody in the that's watching us live? Be sure to hit the like button, guys. And if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe to JR Life is Reality, his channel, and follow him on Instagram. And that will be great. But anybody else out there? Did you, Miss Wilson? Did you realize that she was biracial? Oh,
Well,
okay. She is
the,
okay.
the other thing is
Hmm.
her swimming costume is zebra colored as well.
Yeah, you know what? I just put that together. You're right. I didn't even catch that until just now. You're right. Her swimsuit is black and white zebra. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, so Miss Wilson was aware. Okay, okay, girl. You know what's up. All right, all right. So I thought they did pretty good. I thought that she painted him and she did ask consent. And this couple, anyway, they seem to be another couple that seems to be physically gelling. Would you agree, Jr.?
Yeah, they seem very relaxed around each other, despite the secrets and all that stuff. I think they really like each other.
Yeah, I do too. I think they really do. I mean, for him to be talking about he's willing to take on 4 extra kids in addition to the 2 he already has. Yeah, I think there's something there. There's something there. I just don't understand why they would have to talk for 4.5 years and never see each other though. That part I kind of
Because they're
question.
both sleeping with other people.
Oh yeah, that's right. don't want to interrupt that.
Nope. I mean,
Well,
what her second oldest, sorry, the second to last child she had was 5. So they've been talking for 4 years. So whatever situation she was in, you know, he
hmm.
may have been in a situation as well at the time.
Okay, okay. Well, yes. These situationships.
Yeah. And also childcare is expensive. So
Childcare is expensive. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true. Well, we finish up wrapping up the intimacy task of body painting and asking consent and those type of things. So we move into the house where we've got Ty and his lady Brittany. They're tasked with cooking the first group dinner, right? This young lady here, Alicia, she's like, "Well, no, I don't want butter on my food. I can't have butter. I can't have dairy." And Ty is kind of like the way she kind of presented it to him. I don't blame Ty. Ty is like, look, you're not the only person I'm cooking for.
mhm. Yeah, because Alicia, she she didn't want Irving to reveal what she's been going through. During the intimacy task, he painted wings on her back as a show of strength. And no, I think he wrote strength as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Yeah.
was going to say why he wrote it. And she shushed him from revealing that she has a medical condition. So that's fair enough. Maybe she's not comfortable with everybody knowing. The downside to everybody not knowing is because every different couple will be cooking for the rest of the house every week, they don't know your special dietary requirements because they don't even know that you have a medical condition. So you coming in, I don't want this, I don't want that. Can I have mine a certain way? Can I have a side plate of this? That's why I think there was a miscommunication where he's like, wait a minute, why are you coming and making all these demands? We're the chefs, we're cooking. Right? It's
Right.
a bonding experience for us.
Mm-hmm.
And you're coming and making demands on what you want and everything. No, you can't do that. Everybody's going to eat the same food, you know?
Right.
So yeah, she could have um, she could have said, I have special dietary requirements, and this is why, or I have a medical condition. I don't want to disclose what it is, but because of a condition I have, I can only eat certain foods. I have to avoid certain foods. It's her job to let everybody know when
Yeah.
she's comfortable, especially if they're cooking for you. Because if you want your food prepared a certain way, they're not psychic. They can't read your mind. They don't know you from Adam. It's Irvin that's been talking to you and knows about your condition, but nobody else. So it's her responsibility to let people know, listen, I can't eat certain foods because of this. And then that would have cleared up the whole situation. But
Wow.
one thing a lot of people don't like is if they're cooking and then they've got someone coming in saying, yeah, put a little bit more of that in there, take that out, dish me up one of the, like, when you're cooking, you don't want to hear that.
Nope. You sure don't. I mean, like you said, I think he would have been more sensitive and considerate if he knew it was a medical health issue, right? That
Exactly.
that makes it more serious as opposed to you just trying to be bossy and nitpicky.
Right.
Miss Wilson says she thought that Ty was a little aggressive, but yeah, Alicia was bossy also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think Ty got aggressive because to what JR's point is, what he's saying is they're cooking food for everyone. It's not just her. It's not just, one person or 2 people. And here's the thing. JR made a very good point. It's a bonding activity also for Ty and his woman Brittany. And here you come interrupting, and rather than pulling him aside and asking, is it possible maybe, you could leave my food unseasoned or unbuttered or whatever it was. She's like, well, I gotta have this. And it was the way. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
And also, if you come in heavy hot like that and making demands, it's you kind of ruffling people's feathers who are preparing food. You'd never insult someone who's preparing food for you.
Yeah, that's a
Never
bad
do that.
idea.
Never
That's
do
a
that.
bad idea, because you never know what could go into the food after that.
Exactly. They might put an extra bit of chili in your food to, it should teach her a lesson. Or even worse, as we know, a lot of fast food places, stuff can go down.
He might make her a chocolate pie just for her.
Exactly. Made with not real chocolate.
Right. El said, she says she has got a good point. You tell the chefs when it's meal prep time, not while the fire is hot and now they're in the midst of it. And that's a very good point.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
She didn't want to tell the group. She didn't want her man to tell the group what she was dealing with. So, and I can understand that to a degree. I think if she just had said to him that it's a medical issue, I think he would have taken a lot more consideration to that.
Exactly. So like I said, I'll give her grace. It's not Irvin's place to tell the group. I don't think he wanted to out her. I think he was trying to say, this is why I think she's strong. This is why I admire her, because she's going through a lot right now. I think he was trying to give her props, give her praises. But it's her responsibility to let people know whatever she feels comfortable with them knowing. But she can't expect people who don't know what she's going through to automatically arrive at she's got some medical condition. She has to be the one to at least give some idea without going into too much detail if she doesn't want to. But listen, I can't eat that because it's going to affect me negatively because whatever the reason is. Until you give some type of disclaimer or some type of heads up to people, then people will be forever potentially putting their foot in it with you because they don't know your circumstance. So for clarity, she should take the responsibility and say, I'm going through this at the moment. That's it.
Well, do you agree with El Cid when she says that Brittany did a good job of calming Ty down? I think she did. I thought she did, because she did kind of say, "Hey, Ty, come on now. That is somebody else's lady."
Yeah. Ty wasn't the one that came into the kitchen and started.
No. Ty is the guy right here in the picture. Ty is.
I know who he is. I'm saying he wasn't the one that he was cool with his girl cooking until Alicia came in there and started doing what she was doing. Right.
But toward the end of the scene, I don't have the photo for that, but toward the end of the scene, I think Alicia may have walked out by that point. Yep. Brittany was calmly and kind of in a low, calming voice saying, Ty. And then she said, that's somebody else's woman. You got to, be careful. But I like the fact, what I will say about Brittany, I like the fact, too, that she didn't get in the middle of it while the two of them were going back and forth. She allowed her man to handle his situation for himself.
Yeah, and it wasn't that deep.
No, it really wasn't.
No. They're cooking. They're doing a task. They're completely oblivious to what Alicia's got going on. Who's going to know? She ain't told no one.
Right.
So I'll be pissed too. So, you come in here making all these demands. I don't know what you're going through. You haven't shared it with the group. You haven't told me. So why are you acting like you have? So, it wasn't that deep. Better communication on Alicia's part.
Mm-hmm.
We've already said she may have body dysmorphia or some type of going through something with the weight loss. She's also going through something through the other aspects of the medical condition. She's probably quite delicate, quite fragile, and Um, you know, if she wants people to take care of her or be more warm to her, she needs to let people know.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And then I think Mimi has a great point too. Just buy your own special secret food or whatever. Like I'm sure the kitchen is equipped with all types of foods in there. So if you can't eat, the other thing of it is I'm thinking about this in a social situation. So if someone was cooking and we're in a house and the whole
Hmm.
purpose really was a couple different things for the couple who's making the food, it's a bonding activity. For the
Hmm.
house to sit down together and have conversation, you don't even have to eat the food. You could pick at and eat the meat or the blackened, I think he made some blackened catfish and some rice pilaf and some other goodies. He had capers and some sauce to go over the blackened fish. um all of that sounded really good. So even if she couldn't eat the beans with the butter, surely you could eat the catfish. I mean, like, what's the problem? Eat
Yeah,
something and just sit at the table and enjoy everyone's company.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a bonding exercise. So the couple cook the food, then everybody sits down to eat the food together. It's a bonding exercise. But what she did was she created tension now. Because even if, let's take, for example, if she did have her own secret stash of food, how do you think that's going to look to the couple that have just spent all that time cooking? And then you decide that you're not going to eat their food. You're going to pull
Mhm.
up your own food and you haven't told them the reason why. That's going to
Ah,
create tension.
yeah, yeah. Because you're right. Because nobody at this point, except for her man, nobody really knows except Erwin what's really going on with
Mm.
Alicia. Nobody knows. So you're absolutely right. And the funny thing about it is after this scene happened, she goes upstairs and talks to her man, and she's telling, or she goes in the other room and she's saying, "Hey, he yelled at me." She's the kind of woman that would get somebody hurt.
Yes. Cry
She's
wolf.
the kind of woman that will get somebody hurt because she's like, he yelled at me. And then I'm glad that he was calm and rational. He said, well, what was he saying? What was it about? And when she began explaining it, he immediately got, because he says it in the confessional, yes, she was being her bossy self once again.
Hmm.
So,
Exactly.
yeah, he got
So,
it. He didn't have to go
right.
in there and punch the guy in the face and then find out that she was
Man, because he
exaggerating.
doesn't need to. He knows her well enough. And
Right.
he's already seen how she's acted to him in person after these first 2 days. So it's not a surprise to him that she's getting into these tussles. And that's why he didn't feel the need to go and stand up for her because, he's right. She instigated it. She did.
Right. Exactly. Like I'm like he knew it. He knew it. He knew it. So there was no reason for him to go and confront like we had last season. Who was that? The guy with the colored nails on this show went
Yeah.
and confronted
Andre, is it?
um was it
No?
Andre or was it Chris?
No.
The guy from Detroit. I can
Yeah,
see
with
his
the painted
face.
nails, wore the hats. And he was with Diamond.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. I can't think of his name. Anybody think of that guy's name from last season's Never Ever Met?
Something tells me it was Aaron. That's it,
Aaron.
yeah.
That's it. Thank you.
Aaron H and Aaron J. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Aaron H and Aaron J. I don't know why. For some reason, I was thinking it was Chris J
Yeah.
or Chris
And we
J.
even had him on the show.
Right. We did. Yeah, but like he went and just literally jumped all over that guy without really even understanding anything. Like I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to get back in Diamond's good graces, basically, because of
That's what it was. He's
that's
trying to
all it
get back
was.
in Diamond's good books. He knows that Diamond, she would start getting on people's case, and then when everybody started telling her stuff, oh my god, they're jumping on me. And then she turns to him as if to say, ain't you gonna defend your woman? You gonna let everybody talk to me like that? I think she pulled him aside and said that to him. And that's what made him, the next time it happened, he stormed out there. Listen, whether she's wrong or right, I'm gonna stick beside my woman. Yeah,
Right.
listen.
Stand by my woman.
Yeah, well, she was wrong, and you
She
stuck
was
beside
wrong.
her. But at the end of the day, that's not what happened here. I think
No.
I think Irving is working her out. He's figuring her out already,
Hmm.
and there's no connection there. That that she's not matching his energy. So until that happens, he ain't gonna defend nothing. You got no reason to. They're not connected yet.
Yeah, one of our
The more
subscribers.
she shuts him down and says, I
Mhm.
don't want to do yoga with you, I don't want to do this with you, I don't want to cuddle with you, I don't want to do this, I don't want to take a nap with you. You know, the more she keeps doing all those things, trust me, Irvin's thinking, yeah, okay, this ain't gonna work. So he ain't got no reason to jump up and defend her and storm into the kitchen and, hey, why are you talking to my woman? No, they haven't got there yet. They haven't
Yeah,
connected.
yeah, okay, and so you're right, and so, um, Erwin, he's basically. Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry, I'm jumping around here. This is another couple, another couple. This is the couple that decide to go into the boom boom room. I'm gonna need your help, Jr. with names.
Clavossier,
Okay, and Tatiana,
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 yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, so they decide to go into the boom boom room, and she
Hmm.
says she kind of hates that name, but she tells him that she wants to cuddle,
Hmm.
and she's not looking for sex right now
Hmm.
at the moment. And
Right.
I don't know, what's that expression on his face? Maybe not what he was anticipating, but they seem to have still got along very good. Yeah, thank you, Sid, Clay, and Tatiana. Right, so
Yeah.
this is Clay and Tatiana.
I mean, the boom boom room is called that for a reason. So
That's
I
right.
would suggest, Tatiana, if you're not comfortable with that yet, don't go into the boom boom room.
Hmm.
Just go to bed. Just get a massage in your room, chill out, kiss, cuddle, whatever. But boom boom room is where you're going to take your intimacy to another level. That's what that room's for.
That's what that's for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but he didn't mind. He said he doesn't mind waiting. You know.
This is this the same house they were in last season? Because this that house didn't it have like a jacuzzi on the outside where they could have sat, like, the two of them, they could have cuddled in the water, maybe
Yeah,
some.
but maybe
Go
they're
ahead.
not. Maybe they're not comfortable with each other to do that yet.
Well, I mean, but to your point, why are they going in the boom boom room then?
Yeah, like I said, you got no business going in there if you don't want to do no boom boom.
Yeah, no
If
boom
you
boom.
don't want to do no zoomer zoomer zoom in the boom boom.
Right. You're silly. You are so silly. Tatiana is going to leave whenever Clay reviews. Wait a minute. Reveals his truth.
Huh?
Oh yeah, that's right. Because he's got a secret. We find out he's got a secret that
Yeah,
he hasn't told her.
yes, indeed, he does, and he blew two golden opportunities to tell her his
Oh,
secret.
oh yeah. Like, what was the opportunity? What opportunity are you talking about?
The opportunity to tell his secret, which is that he has a child, a 6 month old or a newborn.
Oh, because at the dinner table, when Jared and
Charlie.
Charlie, they
Yeah,
stood
that
up
was the
and said,
first opportunity because they've just revealed secrets to
okay,
everybody that largely went down okay. I mean, everybody was shocked,
yeah.
but they didn't get cussed out or laughed out the room or anything.
Well, nobody's got to
Um,
deal with them six kids, but the two of them. So
exactly. But he blew an opportunity because he has the same secret that they have,
yeah, yeah,
and he deliberately did not decide
yeah,
to pull Tatiana to the side and
yep,
say, "Hey, listen, I have the same secret." Or if he wanted to take the sting out of it even more, but obviously it would have put more no, not animosity. It would have put them at loggerheads. If he had stood up and said, "Okay, I just want to confess, I have a child too," right?
right.
Tatiana would have felt blindsided because he never said it to her in private first.
Right, yeah, I think he definitely should have pulled her to the side, like you said, and privately said
Yeah,
that. He could
exactly.
have he could have even said it in the boom boom room. They got all the
Yes.
privacy.
Yep.
Um, and he could have, stroked her arm and held her and said, "Listen, I know this is not going to be the best time. There's never a good time. And I've been wanting to tell you this.
Mhm.
And here's what it is.
Right.
Here's what
Because
it is.
in the boom boom room, she was massaging him,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she
and
was. She was massaging his back.
she was asking him, "Are there any secrets that you need to tell me or whatever?" And he was like, "Everything in due time."
I
You
hate
know,
when men say that. I've had a couple guys say that to me, and that usually means basically when it's
never.
too late. When it's too late, you know.
It means never.
Oh, that's what it means. Oh, never. Oh, okay, that's what that
I ain't
means.
telling you yet. I tell
Thank
you.
you for breaking the code.
I
Thank
tell
you
you
for
when I
breaking
feel like it. It's
what
not
I
now,
feel
but
like.
I will
Not
tell you when
now.
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm not putting a
Okay.
time on it.
Okay. So then we got to move over to the last couple of scenes we got here. Moving along with Chris. Chris is having a conversation with Jared. He's having a conversation with Jared, and the two of them, one man to another, he's letting him know that, look, I've had several step parents. My mother's been married multiple times. My dad's been married a few times.
Yeah.
And every time a new step parent came into the home, I see this control. I've seen control before. I've done it before. And I don't want to do it with this woman. I don't know what she's, what's up with her, but I don't want to be controlled. I want to have a healthy relationship where we both, you know, are empowered.
Hmm.
And she knows this about me. He's telling Jared, she knows this about me. She knows what I've been through, this trauma that happened in my youth as a kid. And when I was finally able to go out on my own and hit the road, that's what I did. I left home. I left my mom. I left my dad,
Hmm.
because I couldn't take the control.
Hmm. Yeah. So this is where you find out that, like you said, he has seen the control aspect. He's
Hmm.
also seen abuse, the
Hmm.
abuse of that control.
Hmm.
And he also says he told what's her name? Alicia, told his girl that, look, I've seen this control before, and it's affected me negatively, and I didn't like it. And he tells Jared he's already told her about this particular boundary he has, and she still ignores it and does her own thing anyway. And that's a cause for concern for him. He clearly doesn't like that. I think that's going to ultimately be one of the reasons that why he thinks it's time to pull out of that relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. If anything, I think it is.
Yeah.
Do you think that let's kind of go back a little bit with this couple. Do you think that because Chris publicly was dating someone there in Dallas with him, do you think that that may have affected his uh, clarity or judgment as to why he would stick around with with his lady, why he would come here for her when he's seen so many red flags already over the phone? And he says that he knew, he had a sense that she was controlling when they were just talking online.
Yeah. Now, I think he's trying to make amends. I think what happened is he went on the show, it
Hmm.
didn't work out. After the show, that's when he ended up hooking up with Maya, but he was already talking to his lady.
Yeah.
Um, now, I think he weighed up the two options. He was like, Maya, we just had a shared experience on the show. Cute young lady, single, we connect. I'm going to try this one because, you know, old girl over here, she's significantly older than me, and our life goals may not align, and she does exhibit controlling behaviors. So I'm going to try my luck with Maya. Obviously, that didn't work out. So now he's looking like, okay, well, I still have one more option, and that's old girl right here. So let me just buy her some flowers. Let me say sorry, and let me see if we can give it a go. Um, and that's why she wanted that public apology. Um, but you know what? I said it last week.
Hmm.
She didn't like him physically until she asked for a
Oh,
peen pick.
the peen pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
that
right.
also ties into why she put her hand there and why she, she was doing the thing she was doing. She's purely lusting after what he can give her.
Oh,
Young, tall, virile, handsome guy,
yeah.
and she's trying to claim it.
Mm-mm-mm. Well, my question is, because Miss Wilson says Chris is already ready to leave, and my question is, but is he gonna leave before the boom boom room?
Yeah, I think he should. Because the thing is, all of this is happening without being digmatized. So, with the controlling issues, with the way she behaves, she doesn't take accountability either. He's also said she doesn't take accountability. Um, the experts didn't even get through to her when they said what they said to her. I guess we're going to talk about it because she feels like now there's a disconnection because he didn't stand up for her. Fact is her controlling behaviors are going to drive him away if she doesn't realize what she's doing.
Let's go in another direction real quick before we get to the last scene. Do you agree with El Cid that why was Chris talking to Jared of all people, who was the guy that was hiding the babies? Do you think that he should have maybe been talking to one of the other guys, like maybe Ty, one of the other gentlemen, or even what's his name, Irwin? I like Irwin. I think Irwin seems to be very reasonable, rational, and non-delusional.
No, I mean, if I don't think the secrets have anything to do with why he was talking to him. Talking to him because he felt like there's a brotherly connection
Yeah,
there.
yeah, that's kind of what I was
He,
thinking
he
too.
probably doesn't have that with the other dudes.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good point. Um, that's a very good point. And so, the last thing about this, I think, how did you feel like Jared's advice basically was for Chris to kind of let things play out and don't try to project too far in the future? You're here now. See what it's all about. Give her a chance. And what did you kind of think about that kind of advice? Was he right?
No, I don't think so. Because that's what he's doing at the moment.
Okay.
He's giving it some time. He's seeing how it goes. He's spending time with her. But already 2 days in, he's already had a few instances where he's like, whoa, like she's controlling, she's overbearing, she doesn't listen to me, she doesn't care about my feelings. If I tell her to stop and she keeps going, then she's not respecting me. So he's already reached that point very early. So if she's not self-aware enough, she may watch Chris walk away from her, leave the experiment early.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I think he had some good honestly, I do think he had some good advice. My personal opinion on it, you might not agree, but I think he had some good advice. I think that since you made the effort to be there, why
Mm.
not why not go ahead and see it through? Kind of like on Married at First Sight. If you're crazy enough to go on Married at First Sight, why not see it through? Why not commit to the exercises and work to like your partner as best you can and to figure out why the experts match you two people together?
Yeah, but in this case, they picked each other, right? And
Well,
the thing is, like I said, he is going through the process. He isn't saying he's going to leave yet.
right.
But this is the reason why Jared's advice is bad, is because most of the time, if I can't even say most of the time, sometimes if someone is exhibiting behaviors that you've told them, please stop, or I don't like it, or this is my boundary, and they keep going over that boundary and ignoring what you said, it
Yeah.
only continues to get worse. It only continues to escalate.
True. True. True.
The longer
Yeah.
you stay there, she will then turn around and say, oh, well, if you didn't like it, you would leave. But
You
you're
would.
still here, so I'm going to
Mhm.
keep doing what I'm doing.
Good point. Good point. You're right. That's how abuse generally works. If you allow it, it generally just gets worse and worse. If you don't leave the situation, it's inevitably probably going to get much worse.
Exactly. Escalates. Yep.
It'll escalate, right?
Uh-huh.
Right. Um, ah, good point, Miss Wilson. Red flags do not change color, she says. That's a very excellent and good point. Um, and so we see at the end, we kind of come back to where we had all this problems before um, with this couple, and that is that Erwin is he says, I'm really not feeling you right now, and he's talking to his lady Alicia.
Mm-hmm.
Alicia, the picky eater, the
Mm-hmm.
can't have any butter on her food. Alicia,
On her toast.
on her toes or nothing. uh, so he's had it, and she one of the things she says to him after he tells her how he feels is, I don't feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
So then he gets up to leave, and then now she's saying, well, no, don't leave, let's talk this thing through. But I'm with him. If I were a man and a woman says to me, I don't feel safe in your presence, I'm leaving, because anything after that, you are guilty of harassment or of abuse, of intimidation. So I don't blame him for leaving. Like, she needs to really measure her words. She's not careful with her words. She's reckless. Just like she was reckless in the kitchen with Ty.
Mm-hmm.
She's reckless. What do you think?
Yeah. Listen, it's a wrap after that. If you're telling me that after we waited all this time to meet and we're sitting down alone, you don't want to take a nap with me. You said you do yoga, and I offered to do yoga with you as a bonding experience, and you said no, you don't feel comfortable doing that. Then I hear you're doing yoga with another dude in the house. And then obviously I'm going to be pissed because I'm like, wait, I suggested doing that with you and you shut me down. But you're doing it with someone else that you don't even know in your tight yoga pants and your yoga poses. Nah, I'm going to be pissed. Now, the moment she says, your energy right now, I don't feel safe, the only thing to do is to get up and leave straight away, because it's going to escalate if you stay. You have to get out of there. And then
Right.
when she says, oh, no, don't leave, let's stay and talk it out. No, you just told me that you don't feel safe around me, so I'm not going to spend no time around you no more. I don't feel safe with you no more. I don't feel safe. If I'm Irving and I heard that come out of her mouth, I'm like, I don't feel safe around you. You're going to put me in a situation I don't want to be in. So no, sorry. That's raps. That relationship's over. I don't know how you come back from that. What's she going to do? Come and say, oh, sorry, I do feel safe around you now. Nah, you've already said what you said. No, it's over. That's over. It's going to continue to get worse if they stay together.
Yeah, and I feel like yoga. So I'm a person that's been doing yoga now for some years. Especially love doing it here in Detroit in the park. In the summer, we start doing outside yoga, and it's really very peaceful to be out with nature and doing your poses and breathing.
Mm-hmm.
And but the one thing I say, like, I'll pick my section where I'm gonna put my mat, and that's usually going to be kind of a way, because there's a few guys that come. It's mostly women, but I'd say maybe 30% of the crowd is men. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be poking my rump up in some man's face behind me, you know
Yeah,
um
exactly.
so so like, yeah, for her to do yoga with this guy, and it's just the two of them in the room,
Mm-hmm.
that does seem awfully intimate. And yet he had asked her, he wanted to do yoga with her because he had never done yoga before, and she seems
Mm-hmm.
to be into that. And he wanted to, he's making an effort to bond with her. He says, well, let's do yoga together when we meet up in California at this Never Ever Meets thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. And yoga can be very intimate. There's couples yoga, which you can do with your partner to increase the sensuality and build a connection.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So, and you know, it could be a great learning experience. But I would be pissed if I was Irving. I don't want my girl doing downward
Yeah.
facing dog, and then
Right. That's the one
there's
I'm
a guy
talking about.
staring at her
One of
butt,
them.
yeah,
Right.
staring at her tight pants.
Yeah, those
No,
tight yoga
I
pants.
should be there. You should be safe enough with me for us to do yoga. There's no touching. There's no anything. We're just posing and stretching. Um. So yeah, she don't like that, man, and she's gonna
Yeah.
get him into problems with the
Miss
rhetoric
Wilson
she uses.
Miss Wilson points out too that she's sending mixed signals, and I agree. I
Yeah.
definitely agree. Because here he is showing that he's interested in her interest. A lot of men, like I said, don't necessarily do yoga. And here he is willing to give it a try. And
Mm.
instead of waiting for him and doing it with him, she goes and finds somebody else's man. And how does Brandon's woman, how does she feel about all of this? I'm
Hopefully, we
wondering.
get to find out. We
We
get
gonna
to
hope,
find out.
yeah,
Hopefully, we
hopefully,
get to see
yeah.
why. Why would you be so comfortable inviting my man to do yoga with you? That's what we. That's what we really want to see from Brandon's girl.
We got to find that out hopefully next week.
Yeah.
Uh El Cid says also, what if another man had heard her say that she feels unsafe and he runs in to rescue her and it would start a fight? Yeah, I
Yeah.
said that, El Cid. Like I said, that this woman is reckless with her words and she is going to cause some man to go in there and fight for her when really she's delusional and she's not presenting the facts accurately. Right.
Exactly. Or what if another one of the women in the house or a producer heard her say that, and then they went back and spread the word that Irving is a dangerous guy. He's not safe to be around. Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it will definitely tarnish his name, tarnish his image. What she did was not cool. Even if you don't want to talk now, say you don't want to talk now. But you know, they had a conversation earlier in the show as well, and you know, they were trying to talk or whatever,
Mhm.
and he was trying to express himself, and she just wasn't receptive. So when he pulled his hand away, that's when she started pouring on the tears.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, saying
Talking
you pulled
about
your hand away from me.
talking about Alicia.
Yeah.
Alicia has a very loose connection with the truth and reality, I feel. Because just like she came running in to tell him, oh, Ty, he yelled at me. He yelled at me. He made me feel a certain kind of way. Well,
Hmm.
really aren't giving an accurate description because you didn't start off with, well, I was trying to tell Ty, and
Hmm.
maybe I was a little pushy because I was saying I don't want butter on this, that, and the third.
Hmm.
And then he kind of snapped at me. That would have been a more accurate way, I think, to define that incident.
Yeah, but
So
also
it's not all on Ty. She had a part in it too. She's got to take some accountability.
absolutely, and also, why would you be so comfortable with Brandon but not your own man?
Yeah. The ladies are saying because Brandon's got that body.
Yeah, but it's another woman's man, so it's not
Not
your man. So
not your
why?
man's
So
body.
why? So because he's got an attractive body, you decide that you would rather spend alone, close, and personal time with him than your own man who's been talking to you for online for however many months.
Hmm.
No, that's disrespectful. No.
Yeah, this is the couple, and I think this is the moment, if not earlier, but certainly now, where the two of them could go to what is it, Taronda, and ask for help because they definitely at this point need help. They've hit a big snag right now.
Yeah, I think if Irving goes home right now, I wouldn't be mad. You're not connecting with your girl.
Hmm.
She says she feels unsafe. She's doing yoga with other guys
Hmm.
already. She's
Yeah.
already starting situations with other couples, other people already.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's time to go home, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Urban just said, you know what, I want to leave the experiment early. It's just not working.
Yeah. Yeah. What do we have coming up next week with this? What were the I wasn't able to get those on here. What do you recall from the highlights for next week, this week coming up?
I remember. Um, what's the guy's name that has a problem with his girl and the alcohol?
That's Kiki and I had the name on his name on the tip of my tongue. Kiki and
That's Brandon, Kiki and Brandon, isn't it? No,
is that Brandon? Is that the Brandon that they're talking about with the hair with the braids?
could never be.
El Cid. I know you know who that is.
It's not Cinco.
No,
No, no,
it's not Cinco.
no.
Cinco is with Jay,
Yeah.
but Kiki. No, no. I'm asking who is the guy? Who is the guy with Kiki, the full figured model? The guy that said he liked being submissive. Wow, I can't think of his name right now.
Anyway.
Yeah, but anyway, though. So what is it? He's
Yeah,
talking
that is
about her
Brandon. Yeah,
drinking.
that is
You saying
Brandon.
he's
Yeah.
talking about
So
it?
what it is,
Okay.
Kiki has secrets of her own that she needs to reveal to Brandon, and she's very scared that it's going to tear the relationship apart.
Wonder how many kids she has.
It's not kids. She lives with her ex.
Oh, you didn't have to give it away. You didn't
Well,
have to
you
give
guessed it was kids. No, that's what it showed in the trailers. There's something to do with
Oh,
it.
okay. Okay, it's in the trailer. Okay. Okay, but well, what about the scene where she's sitting on like a almost like a beanbag chair and she seems to be falling off of it and maybe is a little inebriated and he's saying, "Well, I don't like you drinking like that. You
Yeah,
might
but
have a drinking problem."
he's gonna. You know what? He's been saying to her that he suspects she drinks a lot,
Hmm.
and she kind of plays it. I only drink to have fun. I'm not drinking that much. I'm just having fun. I'm just relaxing. Right?
Right.
If she gets drunk to the point where she's stumbling or falling over,
Hmm.
he's gonna go in on her. I think he's afraid of him. There's a couple of things. Sometimes when people get drunk, they act a fool,
Yeah.
and sometimes they get drunk and they just do embarrassing stuff. They slip, they slide, they fall over, they can't keep their balance, they slow their words, and it's embarrassing for the partner that isn't drunk.
Yeah.
So,
And apparently he said to her earlier on their first date that he doesn't drink at all.
right.
So for
So,
a person that doesn't drink at all, yeah, it's going to be embarrassing if you are acting a fool.
mhm, because of drink, yes.
Yeah. So and somebody else, oh, the guy that has the secret. What was that? Was
Clay,
that hmm?
Clay, Clavossier.
Oh, yeah, Clay. Yep, Clay. So maybe he'll finally reveal his secret. I mean, hopefully he's not waiting to have relations with the young lady before he tells her. That would be crazy.
Probably he's either waiting to have relations or he's waiting as long as possible, right to the end.
Can't handle her to take her to bed. Wow. Well, Sid, I think she's implying that Brandon may not be strong enough to carry Kiki to her bedroom if she falls down. Because, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. What do you think?
Well, the ladies say that he's got a body, so he might be able to handle her. But I
She
just,
she's not like she's not just heavy. She's like heavy. Okay. I mean,
I can't comment about that.
yeah.
But
Okay.
'cause I'm not trying to get cancelled. But
Okay.
I will just say that
She's
he doesn't mind her frame. What he
no,
minds
he
is
doesn't. Yeah.
listen, you're consuming a lot, and I'd rather have you clear-headed and coherent when we're together, rather than under the influence.
Okay. Okay. If you say so, like I think so. So guys, we'll be back Sunday if Xfinity continues to hold steady. We'll be back Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the States, and that's what 8 o'clock there. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? That's Easter Sunday. Will that work for you?
Yeah,
Would
it
you?
works for me. I got
Okay.
a long weekend, so it's cool.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I didn't want to. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, guys, we'll be back Easter Sunday, this coming Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Set your reminders and make sure that you've got your reminders on the for the channel so you get your notifications. Make sure you've gone over and you've subscribed to JR to his channel and you're following him on Instagram. He has a lot of good material over there that will be helpful to your health and helpful to your spirit and body and soul. Anything else you want to add, JR?
No, thank you for tuning in. Listen, if you like the content, if you want to keep up with the show and our reviews, hit that like button. Tune in next Sunday. Tell your friends, tell your homies. We've got a review over here too. So all likes are appreciated. Leave comments and feedback if you like or dislike anything we've said or you have a different opinion.
Yeah,
Hit the comment section, but hit the like button first before you hit the comments.
that's right. I think he said it all. I'm good with that. So you ready to shake and shimmy on out of here?
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in, everyone.
Yes,
Peace.
thank you. Thank you guys so much for hanging in there with us. We love you. See you soon.